Ministries YouTube Live. I am Matthew Miller, your host. Today we got a very perplexing problem to talk. And this is just going to be a teaser because I'm going to do the real deal on my Patreon account. So if you'd like to check that out, it is patreon.com/Matthew Miller. So herein we have this great riddle of who was actually in the empty tomb of Jesus. Now we know who was outside the tomb, angels. But when we take a look at Mark chapter 16, something else is at play here, because the other stories don't exactly fit this narrative. This narrative here seems to be missing, almost as if Mary Magdalene forgot it. We don't know. But let's take a look at this. Now, when the Sabbath had passed, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of Jesus, and Salome brought spices that they might come and anoint him. Very early in the morning, on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. And they said among themselves, "Who will roll away the stone from the door of the tomb for us?" But when they looked up, they saw that the stone had been rolled away, for it was very large. And entering the tomb, they saw a young man, clothed in a long white robe, sitting on the right side. And they were alarmed. But he said to them, "Do not be alarmed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him? But go tell his disciples and Peter that he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him as he said to you." So they went out quickly and fled from the tomb, for they trembled and were amazed. And they said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. So when you read the other accounts, this is in stark consternation with it. You would say, the unbeliever would say, it's in contradiction to the other accounts. For the other accounts mention angels as speaking, one setting up here, yada, yada, yada. But Mark alone says somebody was in that tomb, and the big question is, what's going on here? You need to know that what is being exemplified here is this person was a person because he was wearing a robe. He was wearing a robe. Now, it is amazing that most people flat simply don't think to look at this. This is the Greek word in the Strong's Concordance. This is G 4749. It's stole, robe. The thing about it is that in the Greek, its primary definition is equipment. It's equipment. This is the primary function of this word. In this utilage, you need to understand the implication. It means a long white robe, a standing robe, as in the outer garment someone puts on for specific purposes. This is their equipment when they're going to present themselves. So here it's defined as the garment for priests, kings, and persons of rank. So they only wear this when they're in an official capacity, yada, yada, yada. This is equipment, stole. When you know this, when you know the biblical narrative, you know this must be talking about someone that is not celestial in origin. Take note. When we research this word in the book of Revelation, it's very easy to tell who is what and what's what. This is not referring to those who sleep in Jesus. Now we know from Thessalonians that those who sleep in Jesus do not have cadavers. Their bodies, their equipment has been automatized. There's not one bone fragment left. They've all been obliterated and turned to dust. That's what's happened. However, those of us with bodies, or if we're dead, cadavers, we know that the Bible states in Revelations, those people have stole. They have robes. So take note. Revelation chapter 6, verse 11. Then white robe was given to each of them, and it was said to them that they should rest a little while longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brethren, who would be killed as they were, was completed. This, of course, this is the martyrs. They still have stole. Their bodies have not decomposed yet. So, we see this same thing in Revelation chapter 7. Yes, it does. So, there in verse 9 it says, after these things I looked, and a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne of the Lamb, clothed in white stole robes, with palm branches in their hands. These represent, for one, is the dead saints who've been martyred, and the people that still have living bodies. The rapture has not taken place yet, because the rapture, of course, biblically happens at the resurrection. That happens at the return of Christ. That happens at the second advent. There is no partial secret return of Christ. So, that being the case, when you know that stole means, wait a minute, that means somebody that's living, because this isn't the only time that this type of thing is mentioned. It's not the only time that the mentioned. Now, take note. Let's take Revelation chapters 19, 7 through 8. It says, come, let us be glad and rejoice and give him glory, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her it was granted to be arrayed in fine linen, clean and bright. For the linen is the righteous acts of saints. Take note, there's no stole here. It doesn't exist. Because she has not been raptured yet. She has not been cloven to Christ, her husband. There you have it, right there. Now, if you skip down to verse 14, we can prove it again. Do beings that are in the third heaven, because they're asleep in Jesus, right? Why are they in the third heaven? Paradise has been relocated from Hades to paradise. So, Revelation chapter 19, verse 14. And the armies of heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, followed him on white horses. Take note. The celestial host does not wear stole. They don't have equipment because they're celestial, they're spiritual in origin. They have spiritual bodies. They don't have physical bodies. Take note. Returning with these armies of heaven are those who, now take note, write this down, those who sleep in Jesus. That is a different group from the dead in Christ. Yes, it is. Those who sleep in Jesus return with him. They have no stole. They have no bodies. Now, those who are dead in Christ, they still have cadavers. They have dead bodies that can be resurrected. This alludes to the greatest resurrection. Remember, the resurrection starts in heaven. Dispensationalists call this the rapture, though it's not, it's the resurrection. It starts in the third heaven, because those that are asleep in Jesus, they get raptured first. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Then Jesus comes on down, so he's on the throne. He comes off the throne, going down through the heavens. He obviously comes to the third heaven, which is paradise in Abraham's bosom, before he gets here to physical earth, and raptures those who sleep in Jesus. Then when he gets here, he next resurrects those who are dead in Christ. They still have stole. They still have cadavers. They get raptured first. Then we who are alive and remain, then we get resurrected bodies. We get raptured. So when you know this, you put all this together, it inspires you to really critique and scrutinize Mark's account in Mark chapter 16, verses 1 through 8. Because the real question is, wait a minute. If that person in the tomb, the one in the tomb, if he had a stole, that means he was one of the resurrected people. Oh yes, he was one of those that had been resurrected with us. Now when you know that, it makes you go, would the Bible give you a hint? Would the Bible give you a clue as to who that resurrected person would be that was in his tomb? That's a good question. If you want the answer to that, hook up with us on Patreon. Fill out for a free Patreon account so you can join, and there I will blow your mind with the Bible, God's holy word. Till next time, God bless. Godspeed.